Hey, Arnav, how do you say your last name?
Agrawal.
Agrawal.
Yes.
I could never say it right. Welcome to the Handoff. We're really happy to have you on the show. Arnav is a sophomore currently. He is the most powerful distance runner for Milpitas High School. They're really lucky to have him. So, what made you choose running sports?
I would say growing up, I used to play a lot of sports in general, like soccer, basketball, tennis, table tennis, just all of those little things. I would just try it out. And then I was big into table tennis really when I was young. And then when COVID hit, table tennis was like an indoor sport. That started declining. And one of my friends reached out to me and he was like, Arnav, you want to try this running thing? And ever since then, I've kind of just ran just a little bit for fun, and whatever's happened now has happened. Yeah.
Did you ever run with a mask?
I think my 7th grade cross country season, I ran with the mask. I remember like running at Montgomery Hill, and then I would like hold the mask in my hand after I got tired of it. But yeah.
I heard about one girl passed out. I don't know. Did she go to MHS or?
From wearing a mask?
Yeah, she was running and wearing a mask, and she wasn't getting enough oxygen, and she passed out.
Yeah, that's sad to hear. But I don't remember where that was from now. Yeah.
Well, that leads right into my next question for you. How old were you when you took up running?
I remember I ran a 5K, the Santa Rosa 5K in 6th grade. I ran it just for fun, trying new things out. But I would say I really started running in 7th grade at the middle school when cross country started. So I kind of just took it up from then. Okay.
That's awesome. So you didn't come to Milpitas completely cold. You were already kind of into it.
Yeah, I was into it a little bit, yeah.
You certainly are talented, I have to say. Okay, so your cross-country season went really well. You made it all the way to state. Did you set any records?
I think I was, so the cross-country season, I guess it started off pretty slow with like a couple of injuries, and it was plagued with like pneumonia and stuff throughout the season.
Bacteria or viral?
It was walk pneumonia.
That's viral, I think.
That's viral, probably, yeah.
Did you take antibiotics for that?
I tried taking antibiotics with like an inhaler, but there were no results, no benefits.
And it was probably viral.
Yeah. I guess CCS I ran CCS with pneumonia and I placed 4th. Not exactly what I wanted. I think I was like 3 seconds off the sophomore record set by Coach Johannes. Oh. And then when I got to states, I did end up running the sophomore record, and I think it was 2nd all time at MHS. And then place-wise, I placed like 35th, so that was also a place sophomore record. So yeah, just a couple of records.
That's awesome. It's so fun following you guys. I mean, my kids are gone, but I'm here for you guys. Chris loves it too. Okay, you made it all the way to state as an individual, right?
Yeah, I did.
And how'd you do there? Did you even think you could do that as a sophomore?
Well, my freshman season, I placed 11th at CCS, and there are a bunch of intricacies, but I ended up being 1 place off of going to states my freshman year. So I knew that when cross country came next, like it was states or nothing. Like I knew I wanted to go to states, and I knew I had the ability to go to states. But it definitely got a little scary towards CCS qualifying for states, because that whole pneumonia thing just ruined the training. I was at like 10-mile weeks. But then when I did get to states, it was a really good experience. I obviously didn't do as well as I wanted to do, but I think I'm happy with how the season went. And all I could say is this junior cross country season should be a lot more special. Should be even more special.
Oh yeah, I mean you keep developing physically. You're on your way to being quite an astonishing man. What are your favorite courses and not so favorite courses for cross country?
I would say my least favorite course is probably Baylands, just because of how flat and boring it is.
Yeah,
I feel like a cross country race should have some excitement, some hills, some downhills, some scenery, but Baylands is kind of just running around in a circle, and to me it's not as fun, but I guess, and it has a bunch of loose dirt. But my most favorite course would probably be the States course, just because of how much the atmosphere around there, the different terrains, the road, the trail, the uphills, the downhills, and just the whole atmosphere is that's probably my favorite course.
There's a tree that grows kind of like an arch. And as a photographer, a lot of times I get shots of you guys coming to the finish line through that arch in that tree. They're pretty awesome pictures. I'm sure I have pictures of you.
Yeah.
Do you have any moments for cross country that stick out?
To be honest, a lot of the season's a blur, but if I do remember a couple of moments, it was at one time. I forgot if this was a Scavals or it was just a normal league meet. One of the races, everyone just went the wrong direction.
Yeah.
At Crystal Springs. and they did the whole loop, and they didn't even realize, or I didn't even know what happened. They went the wrong direction. So that was a memorable moment. Yeah.
Yeah, they just decided to take the times as they were and put a little asterisk there.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think so. I think they noted that they went the wrong way. Let's move on to your track season. You're a distance guy, so you run the 1,600 meter and the 3,200 meter. Did you set any records for those?
Yeah, in the 1,600, I ended up running 4:22 this season.
Wow.
Not much better than my freshman year, but that is a sophomore record, and I think that's also second all time for MHS. In the 3,200 meter, that was like one of the events. That's the event I focused more on this season. Towards the end of the season, I ended up running 9:13 in the 3,200, and that was a sophomore record and second all time in MHS.
Did that beat Coach?
No, Coach's all-time record is 9:07. His sophomore record was 9:18, so I still have a while to go.
Oh, I think you're going to break these. I really do. Okay, so your track season, I'm just a photographer. In fact, I'm always so busy managing the camera that a lot of times I'm not sure what happened. It looked to me like you had some difficulties near the end. You were hanging with Aiden, and I'm not sure which other runners, but everybody knows Aiden. And near the end of the season, you were near the back of the pack. What happened? Well, let me clarify. You were near the back of the fast pack, not the whole pack.
So I think you're referring to CCS finals, and I think CCS finals, I don't want to blame it on one thing really, but the night before I didn't get much sleep. So I think, and the race was at 8:20 p.m. So I guess my body just got pretty tired by the end of the day. Mentally, I was just not racing to race. I was just happy to be there. And I think that's something that I shouldn't have taken for granted. But it's definitely something that I'm going to learn from and only grow from there. So
it was also, did you mention it was at night? I mean,
yeah.
It's my personal opinion that night races are always worse.
That's funny because I usually prefer night races. I'm not a day guy at all because I don't really like the heat or any form of sun.
True.
If it were me, I would run in 50-degree weather as much as I could.
Do you have a memorable race during track season that you'd like to share?
The first one that pops up into my mind is probably CCS Top 8. That whole day, it was a pretty eventful day because I had the days, and I was signed up in the 1,600 and the 3,200. I hopped in the 1,600 and I felt good through a lap, and then the second lap my hamstring started cramping, so I had to drop out of the race after 900 meters. So I dropped out of the race, and then I had the 3,200 like 3 or 4 hours after, and I was like, you know what, let's just see what I can do. And my PR before that was like 9:32, so I was like, let's just stick with the pack and see what can happen. I ended up running 9:17 that day, and it kind of served as a reminder, like, this is why I do what I do. Like, I genuinely love this sport, and there's going to be ups and downs, but I just have to be patient and the ups will come. So that was definitely the most memorable moment.
That's awesome. To have a failure like that and then have, a total success, set a PR after you're having muscle difficulties. Yeah, your dedication is truly amazing. So are you the team captain? I kind of lost track.
Yeah, currently I am the team captain.
Are you guys, or are you organizing workouts and things like that during the off season?
We're not really organizing the workouts. The workouts are just the coach. The coaches just decide the workouts. Okay. So coach is still doing that one. How many miles a week are you guys running? I guess the mileage varies based off of the person and the time of the season. I haven't been really consistent with my mileage. I wouldn't want to put a number to it because it hasn't really been a consistent number, but I want to try to build up to closer to 60 maybe for this summer going into cross country season. The
Los Altos girls do 60. And
oh, wow.
You've seen them. They're amazing.
Yeah, they're pretty fast.
Who do you look up to as a runner?
Okay, I've said the story a couple of times, but in 8th grade, I remember seeing an MUSD Instagram post about Sahil Raj and how he broke 16 and is like the third person in MHS history to do that. And ever since I saw that, even though I've really never spoken to him, he's just been like an inspiration since then, going into high school. And then when I got to high school, Coach Johannes has just truly been the person who I look up to for advice, for coaching, or just someone I want to chase and be as fast as. All of his MHS legacy is just something I dream to just touch the tip of, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
The thing about Johannes too is that I think he really is tickled when you guys break his records. That guy is so not self-centered. He's such a giving guy. Well, heck, I'm going to send Sahil a link to this interview. He's going to be on he's going to be on this the Handoff sometime in late June. I think he's in Fiji right now or on vacation somewhere. Okay, so let's look to the future. In the immediate future, you said you were going to be racing the Nike Outdoor National. It's a national invitational, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
What's the bar to get into that?
So I'm racing the 3K over there. I think they used to do 3,200, but now they're doing the 3K. There's an emerging elite and like a championship race. We just put my time that I ran at top 8, a 9:17. But I think the standard for the emerging elite is like 9:16 or something. So they accepted me for the emerging elite. But I think for championship, it goes to like 9:12. So I think it's decently fast.
Yeah. That's, you said 9:17?
9:16, 9:17. Yeah.
But that's what you did, and their bar is 9:12. But you're getting in through a different mechanism.
So the 9:12 is for the championship race, and then the 9:16 is for the emerging elite race.
Okay.
And the 9:17 got me to the emerging elite, but we didn't even apply for the championship either.
Okay. Awesome. You are going to run for college in your mind, you thinking?
It's definitely a possibility. I think when you're in a sport that's in the NCAA, it's always on your mind. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I mean, yeah, you might be able to get a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
You're very talented. Do you have any schools in mind?
To be honest, I think it's too early for me to start thinking about schools right now.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like focusing on getting faster, and then when the times come, I guess I'll start visiting some schools, see the campuses I like, have a dream school in mind then. But as of right now, I don't think there's a specific school that I'd like to go to.
Yeah, I didn't really. When I went to school, to be honest, I just chose San Jose State because that's what my sister did.
Oh, yeah.
The last question. Do you have any advice for younger people than you that might be interested in running sports?
I think one piece of advice I would give is to just stay consistent. I know it's like a really cliche type of advice, but I've seen from people around me, being consistent is the easiest way and the most efficient way to become the best version of yourself, or the fastest version of yourself. And when you start off, you shouldn't take running so like mentally deeply. Like you should just run for the fun of it and enjoy that while it lasts. And then as you start running more, you'll start running competitive races, and that's when you have to also start working on the mental aspect of running. That's not talked enough part of it.
Dealing with the pressure, wouldn't you say?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for being on the Handoff. This is only episode 2, and I'm really honored to have had you on here.
Thank you for having me. Yep.
And there you go, Arnav Agrawal. He got our attention as a freshman, a really fast freshman, and he looks like he's going to turn out to be another Aiden Stephanopoulos or even Eli Fitchin-Young. So we can't wait to see how his junior and senior years turn out. All right, see you next time on The Handoff. Talk to you later.